Hello, everyone. We're going to talk about due process. Okay. Donald Trump. Okay. So Donald Trump is going to be in hot fire. Okay. A lot of bad things that's going to be hitting him in the nail. Okay. Basically, a lot of pressure from the public, from the people of what's going to be discovered, what's going to be reported, okay, and what's going to be like evidence, okay, that's going to be shown regarding the lack of proper due process when it comes to immigrants, okay, the immigration, ICE, okay, all that. There's going to be a lot of things happening, media, so a media post that's going to talk about Donald Trump and ICE. Apparently, a lot of people that got ringed from, excuse me, I don't know what's going on with my speech right now. Apparently, ICE, which is a organization, government organization that is part of the immigration. Okay, they get the immigrants that are unlawfully here. Okay, they basically send them back, or they send them into some type of it's like a prison, really, but it's supposed to be like a place where they go to, like, once their case is heard and it's processed, and then they get sent home, okay, if they're unlawfully here. Okay, they deal with immigration laws. Okay, that's what the ICE is the government agency that deal with immigrants that's unlawfully here, okay, that are not US citizens. But of course, there's more to the story with that. When it comes to due process, is the right to have proper proper justice. Okay, the right to have basically, let me read what due process is. Due process is of law is a fundamental principle of fairness in legal proceedings, ensuring that all individuals receive notice and opportunity to be heard and a fair trial before the government can deprive them of life, liberty, or property. It's a cornerstone of America's legal system, protecting individuals from arbitrary government action and ensuring fairness in both civil and criminal matters. Okay, so it talks about, legal proceedings that are fair, okay, where the people have the opportunity to be heard. They have a dual process of having a fair trial. They making sure that everything is done properly, the right channel. They go through the right process of getting their story heard, getting their whatever their case is, that it's properly handled correctly. So what happens when a due process is not rendered correctly? So basically, that is unlawful. That is a basically, that's illegal. Okay, that is something that goes against our constitution. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of hot fire on Donald Trump because of that, because there has been a lot of illegal activities when it comes to the immigrants, and there's going to be video evidence. People are going to see firsthand. Not only that, there are people who are being right now detained by ICE agents, ICE, the government itself, that agency, that are U.S. citizen, but they are being treated as if they're not. That's a whole big thing. And this is all going to blow up in Donald Trump's face. And I know that he thought he was doing a good thing, protecting the borders. That's all he keeps saying. And, that's what he thought, that this was a right thing to do, applying the pressure, getting the unlawful immigrants out of here. That's his whole objective. However, what his mistake was is to do it the proper way, or to, like, make sure that it's done the proper way. Okay, making sure that everything is legal and legit. Okay, he did not do that. All he kept doing was press, like, oh no, we're getting the right people, the immigrant, and not realizing, no, the ICE agents, the people that work for ICE are, like, they're, first of all, the whole agency, there's a whole big thing with that. But they have been doing illegal shit for a very long time, before even Donald Trump came to office. However, Donald Trump applied more power to them. And therefore it applied more pressure to the people. Support. They did not know what ICE is. They're thinking that ICE is, is part of the U.S. government. They're helping us, protecting our border, and not realizing that's a whole illegal government agency that does a lot of bad things. And it's all gonna come out. And I'm just gonna be honest and straight up with you. ICE is a terrorist organization. Okay, just let you guys know that. And that's not the only government, a U.S. government agency that is that. Okay, and I will disclose that. But yeah, there will be a lot of. This is gonna be breaking news, where people are gonna find out what's been happening. Dual process has not been rendered. A lot of illegal activities has been going on behind closed doors when it comes to the ICE agents, ICE government agency, whatever you want to call them. They have done some foul things, and you guys going to see it firsthand. I don't need to say it. You guys going to see it. There's going to be documents, records after records after records, video documents where you're going to see firsthand what has been happening. Okay, you're going to see, even things like cases that went cold because they didn't understand what happened to certain individuals. Okay, and it turns out that there was more to the story with them. You're going to find out that many U.S. citizens has been taken from ICE agents. This is not the first time this has happened. This is not anything new. However, this is the first time it's, I guess, allowed without it being allowed, because, again, Donald Trump is not aware. He's still thinking that they're getting the right people. And even though there has been, reports of like a certain individual that was a U.S. citizen, but Donald Trump said, no, that was the red flag there. He should have did his due diligence and investigate what are they talking about. Like this, is this true or not? He didn't confirm. He just believed his team, and that's what really messed him up. Because if he were to look deeper, he would have saw firsthand ICE, what that agency has been doing for a very long time. They are corrupt. They are brutal. They're worse than the police. I'm going to be completely honest. When it comes to police brutality and police corruption, they are worse. ICE is a terrorist organization, not the only one, but it's one of the biggest. Guys, I'm letting you guys know that. So just so you guys know, this is all going to blow up on Donald Trump's face to the point where people are calling for impeachment. Okay, that's how bad it's going to get. I'm going to leave that there. Thank you.